Hello, and welcome to another edition of Interviewing the Legends, brought to you by the Publicity Works Agency, devoted to promoting musicians and authors worldwide. Call us today at 941-877-1552 to start your free publicity evaluation. Remember, we shine only when we make you shine. Please welcome the host of Interviewing the Legends, music journalist, author, and entrepreneur, Ray Shasho.
Hello once again, everyone. I'm your host, Ray Shasho. Welcome to another edition of Interviewing the Legends on BBS Radio, brought to you by the Publicity Works Agency. Call us today at 941-877-1552 or email us at publicityworksagency.com. Remember, we shine only when we make you shine. Also by the Rockstar Chronicles Series 1, my new book, available at bookbaby.com and amazon.com, featuring over 45 intimate conversations with the greatest music legends the world will ever know. 30 years ago, Johanna Hall of Orleans met Jonell Mosser, queen of the Bluebird, in Nashville. They immediately wrote a song together, a collaboration that caught fire when Johanna Hall came into the mix. They wrote dozens of songs over the next decade. As a duo, John and Jonell did some memorable gigs in Woodstock. Recently, a cassette of one of those shows, an acoustic duo show at the Bearsville Theater 1994, surfaced from a neglected drawer. A lost gem. The performances were so stellar, the songs so new, they still had dew on them. 25 years later, after Johanna digitized and edited it, that performance is finally released to the public as Little Black Dress. Jonell Mosser's first record was Around Towns, a collection of songs by Townes Van Zandt. She then came to the attention of producer Don Was, Bonnie Raitt, Waylon Jennings, Rolling Stones, who cut an album with her. He also put together the band New Maroons, which performed at Farm Aid, with Jonell singing in front of Benmont Tench, Mark Goldenberg, Was, and Ringo Starr. 2 CDs, So Like Joy and Enough Rope, were released on Hall's Siren Songs label, followed by Trust Yourself and Fortunes Lost, Fortunes Told. Singing in venues large and small, touring the U.S. and Japan with Orleans, Delbert McClinton, and others, Jonell has seen her audience grow. She's sung studio vocals for B.B. King, Trisha Yearwood, Jesse Winchester, Etta James, Wynonna, Rodney Crowell, Vince Gill, Waylon Jennings, Patti Smythe, A.J. Croce, and Bruce Cockburn. John Hall's written songs for Janis Joplin, Bonnie Raitt, Ricky Skaggs, Steve Wariner, and James Taylor. He's played guitars on tours and records with Little Feat, Taj Mahal, Jackson Browne, and Seals and Crofts. His music and environmental activism led him to 10 years in elective office. Now back to music full-time, he writes songs and performs solo and with Orleans. Listen to Jonell Mosser just once in concert and you'll be an instant believer. She sings with all-out passion and heart, no frills, no games, just a soulful intensity that makes you realize you're in the presence of the real thing. Please welcome American blues and soul singing sensation, Jonell Mosser, to Interviewing the Legends. Hello there.
Hi, Ray. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. How are things in Nashville?
Locked down, baby.
Yeah, like everywhere else.
But that's okay. You know, our little artist colony here, we've found ways to get around doing a few things. I've gotten to do one session, and tomorrow I have a session that's going to happen there. They've sanitized the studio.
Oh, really?
They have an open door for me to walk into. And so we're trying to slowly and safely start up the art again.
Yeah.
Crank it out.
Yeah, we need it. We need music. Back in our lives.
So I did last night. Or last evening, I did a short set at a place where we usually have a Sunday gig.
Mm-hmm.
Just my bass player, my guitar player, and myself, and we had one other person there running the sound, and we did an hour set for Taj Mahalics, is what we call this band.
Mm-hmm.
To an empty place, but a lot of people tuned in, so I'm learning how to do that too. They're dragging me kicking and screaming into the 21st century.
Yeah, there's so many artists now that are doing these little shows from home, for people, which is pretty cool. I've seen a lot of good artists. I guess it's hard to get that sound right though when you're on Zoom.
It is. I don't have a decent microphone on my laptop here, and I'm working on trying to find one, but no place is open to buy it. So I've got to either order it online and then wait a little while. Ooh, my cat, hi kitty cat, she's with me. Got to figure out what I'm going to do here. Oh, she wants to go out now. I'm like everybody else, just figuring out how to do what I do authentically and safely.
Well, you're a Kentucky girl, and I heard you singing "Old Kentucky Home" live on Nashville Now TNN. And,
oh yeah, a while ago. Tom Britt's the guitar player.
Yeah.
For that cut.
That was so cool. You don't get to hear that song too much anymore. You
don't. Stephen Foster is a highly underrated songwriter for many.
Right.
But I had one very wise person say that Stephen Foster, Beethoven, Stephen Foster, Mozart, and Beethoven are the only three composers. This is Fred Foster saying this. The only three composers, he said, you can't add or subtract a single note.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
So, yeah, I love doing any song that's good. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter.
Well, I got to tell you, you're an incredible singer. I mean, you should.
Thanks. I always say, Ray. I always say, God makes the wine, boy. I get to be the glass.
You should be a superstar by now, in my opinion. And you sang with so many people. So
I have.
Yeah.
It's been the joy of my life that I've gotten to sing with my friends and my heroes. I never toured with Delbert McClinton, but I did get to. I got to open for him a couple of times and sing backgrounds for him several times, and I got to teach Mavis Staple a song once. When you remember when Lisa Marie was married to Michael Jackson?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, we did that Elvis tribute, and I was the rehearsal singer.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I got to the stars that hadn't really had a chance or been able to study their songs. I got to show them and I got to practice with the band.
That's great.
Different bands, and so I got to meet Tony Bennett during that.
Uh-huh.
And met sweet Michael Hutchins' boy. He was a darling. The In Excess boy.
Yep.
He had trouble with his song too, and so the day of the performance, I got to sing with him a little bit. And though I have struggled financially during my life, I've never been in abject poverty, and the toxicity that can come with celebrity, I have handily avoided. So I really can't complain.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you. First of all, working with John Hall, I've had John on the show. He's a cool guy.
Oh, amen, brother.
We're supposed to play some racquetball together if we ever get together. He's another racquetball.
Very athletic.
Yeah, good guy. And I was fortunate to see Larry Hoppin over here in the Sarasota area, and of course he passed away recently from Orleans.
I loved Larry Hoppin.
Yeah.
Lance is my dear friend too, and I've gotten to do several gigs with him. But I adored Larry Hoppin, and for him to have sung lead on a song that I wrote, "I Am on Your Side" with John and Johanna, was one of those more than you could ask or think moments. Do hear Larry Hopkins sing my song with that beautiful voice of his.
Yeah.
It's just great.
Yeah, Orleans is a great band, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you know it.
I got a guy that you should probably team up with, and he lives in Nashville. I just interviewed Jimmy Hall.
He's my dear friend for many years.
Really? From What Willie?
Yes. I've known Jimmy Hall for 25 years at least. 26 years.
You guys should do a duo together.
Several times. Yeah.
You definitely should do a duo together. You guys mesh so well, you know.
And, I think so.
I
think so. You tell him that. I'll tell him that you said so.
Oh, yeah. I mentioned Beth Hart too, because I know he did something with Beth Hart in one band.
Oh, yeah.
I like Beth Hart too. I've had her on the show, but he does the harmonica thing. You always sing with harmonica players. It just makes sense.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Good guy. We talked for a long time.
Very good guy.
Yeah.
Very good guy.
What happened with this, the new Maroons? What happened there with the Farm Aid thing, and you had, Ringo Starr, and you were singing? What?
Well, the new Maroons was a band that Don put together. It was his original idea to have both, a female and a male singer.
Okay.
And we talked about Delbert. We talked about Lyle Lovett. We talked about my ex-husband, John Callan.
Mm-hmm.
But it never really came together with those guys.
Right.
John said he wanted to do some sessions, so we did. And Benmont was the keyboard player. You know, he was Benmont Tench, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Sure.
And Mark Goldenberg was the guitar player. He played for Jackson Browne for many years. He's a great songwriter. And guitar player, and so I was the singer, Don was the bass player, and Ringo played the drums. So we did a couple of gigs,
right?
And I thought things were going to happen, but right then he got tapped to produce the Rolling Stones record, and then produce a CD on Bonnie, another CD on Bonnie, and Waylon Jennings, and I did those sessions,
right?
And then he did. He just kept getting pulled away to do different things. And then Ringo started up his all-star band,
right.
I was having babies then, so I couldn't be in that. And so I guess everybody kind of moved on without me. I'm not in an ugly way, and I'm not angry about that.
Yeah.
I had little kids. So I did as much as I could. But, and Don has come, when he's been back here in Nashville, he's hired me for several things. Mm-hmm. But, and the last time a mutual friend, drummer, a guy named Greg Bissonette, one of the great drummers.
Sure.
And I did a gig together. Mm-hmm. He was subbing for Charlie Morgan. Charlie had a fall. Mm-hmm. He's fine now, but he had a fall for this and couldn't come play this gig. And the first thing Greg Bissonette said was, "Ringo, I got a big hug from Ringo." This is back when you could hug. Yeah. And so I know he still loves me, and Don does too, but I don't know, it just didn't happen.
Yeah. How cool would that have been, though, you know?
Oh, I tell you what, doing Farm Aid was very cool.
It's got to be.
And I loved the songs that we cut for that record. Mm-hmm. I'm so proud of. We cut several John Hyatt tunes. Mm-hmm. We cut a Stephen Bruton tune that I just love, a song called Too Many Memories. And oh gosh, I still remember all the songs. If they want to play a gig, I'm available.
You've done so much session work that it's incredible, and session work is great, you know, because you get to know a lot of people, and you're on a lot of records, you know. I know a lot of great session people that are, you know, very successful, like you.
Well, I'm happy to be in this town, I'll tell you that. When I was deciding where to live, in the 80s, there were really only 4 places: New York, L.A., Nashville, or Austin.
Right.
I mean, Chicago also had a recording scene, but it was mostly advertising. Mm-hmm. And so New York I loved, but it took so long for people to quit laughing at my name and my accent that it was just a little hard. But I do love New York. If I hadn't picked Nashville, New York was my second choice. L.A. I loved a bunch of people in L.A., but the town itself I found to be very cold.
Right.
And Austin had a lot of great live music, but not enough recording. So Nashville was the perfect little Goldilocks. Not too this, not too that, but just enough.
I think Nashville's got the best players in the country.
Amen.
By far.
And that too.
Yeah.
It was my mother was still living at the time, but she was ill, and so I wasn't too far away from her. I was within a day's drive.
Right. Where was she living at?
Louisville.
Oh, she was in Louisville. Yeah. Louisville and then Nashville is very close. Very, very close.
Yeah, 270.
Yeah.
270 miles, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we used to go to Operaland all the time when it was open with the kids. You know, it was a lot of fun.
It's Shopperland now, baby.
Yeah, it flooded out, right? Didn't they have a big, massive flood or something like that? It killed it?
Well, it did, but the flood didn't kill Opryland. That was gone, but the Opry Mills was flooded out, but it's back going again. I mean, I don't know if it's open now.
Right.
But, yeah, they had gotten back on track.
And we used to go to Printer's Alley. Back then they had, and this a while ago, they had, Boots Randolph had a place in Printer's Alley, and he was performing there like every night, and we said hi to him, and
come say hi to Boots. Well, Printer's Alley is still there.
It's still there.
What we called the titty bars are gone.
Yeah.
But there's still there's still a couple of places that have that lovely seedy quality, and then there are bars that the tourists really love Printer's Alley.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. We went in those so-called bars with my mother-in-law and father-in-law from Kentucky, from Henderson.
I love it. I love it.
And it was so funny. Oh my God! It was very seedy, by the way.
Yeah.
I want to talk.
Sure, it was
very seedy. I want to talk about Little Black Dress. I gave it 5 stars, if that's okay.
Oh my goodness! Yes, I'm thrilled.
Great. I mean, the album features mostly your vocals, which I love. You know, it's all mainly all acoustic. Is that John? Who's playing guitar? Is that John?
It is. It was a live show we did at the Bearsville Theater.
Right. I didn't realize how good of a guitar player he was, you know.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning, yeah.
It was incredible. Plus, you got the single I saw the YouTube video of Circle, which is... Yeah.
John put that together. I think it's quite relevant.
It is. We all share the circle.
Yeah. All we give comes back again, and got no way of knowing when.
You got it. I really did like the sound, and I think some of my favorites. I like That in a Man. To me, that should have been a hit.
I think so too.
Sounds like a hit to me.
Oh, darling. Well, yay! Your mouth to God's ear, boy.
Another hit should have been Bad Habit, which was kind of country.
Oh yeah,
sounded country.
Willie's sister cut that. Bobby.
I
never got to hear her version of it, but somebody said she cut a really good version of that song.
Really? Huh.
I'd love to hear it sometime.
Ordinary Splendor was very unique. In the beginning, it kind of...
I got the lyric. That was so new.
Mm-hmm.
I sang a wrong lyric on that.
Right.
It's precious and true instead of precious and few, like the association. You know?
Sure. You know what it reminded me of? The beginning sounded like a Mama Cass song. You know how Mama Cass went solo? It kind of sounded like that, just in the intro, you know?
Oh, Cass Elliot was one of the great singers. Thank you very much.
It reminded me of her.
That's a lovely compliment to me.
It really did. She was a great, like you said, she was a great singer.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah. Slaying Dragons, kind of a reggae feel to it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Another great song.
Thank you. That was And that was it's a very personal song. It has to do with bad things that happened to me that I feel like I overcame.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
Now, did you write that with John?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Johanna.
Right, and Johanna. Yeah, I like to see you write more, you know? Because I think you're a very good songwriter. You just got to get out there and do it.
Thank you. Well, I have, I've written about 60 songs with John and Johanna.
Right.
And I've written about 25, 30 with Tom Britt.
You just need a partner.
Well, he's not my boyfriend or anything, but he's my guitar player.
Right.
Years. He was my first husband's best friend.
You just need a musical partner for songwriting, and that's a lot of people need that. It's hard to write by yourself. It really is.
There are only a few songs I've written completely by myself.
Mm-hmm. You know what another awesome tune was Dance of Life. Oh my God.
Oh, thank you. That's the first one that the three of us wrote together. John and I wrote Devil's Hand first.
Right.
And that came from me watching the Val Kilmer remake of I Was a Fugitive from a Georgia Chain Gang.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, at one point the guy who's the boss man, I can't remember if it was Kenneth McMillan or Charles Durning. I get those guys mixed up sometimes.
Yeah.
But at one point he says, "I'm the devil boy, and I got you in the palm of my hand." And I went, "Ooh, devil's hand." And so I had all of the words written to Devil's Hand first, but I didn't have a good tune. And John put that sort of lively, melodic thing, and that was my first songwriting lesson from John, where he said something like, "You know the song Help?" And I said, "Yeah, by the Beatles, Help." He goes, "If you ever really listen to the words of that song, do you know the words?" I said, "I do." He said, "Think about them. They're really sad words."
Yeah.
But because it's so lively, when I was younger, so much younger than because somehow it works. The dichotomy of that really works.
Yeah.
He said, "Could we try that here?" And I went, "Oh yeah, show me what you got." And he came up with that, what I thought was a very soulful riff.
Oh, it's incredible.
And boy, and he encouraged me in a way that nobody else did to really stretch out. He goes, "I know sometimes you reach out to hit a note and you're not sure what you're going to hit. Do that. Don't be afraid to do that." And he really, and Johanna too, encouraged me to be brave in ways that were very difficult for me.
Well, tell John Dance of Life, that guitar intro there sounds like Jimi Hendrix. I mean,
it does.
On acoustic.
Oh, I agree.
You know, I was shocked when I heard that. I said, "That's John? Wow!"
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was incredible. Really love that song. That's got to be one of my favorites as well.
Oh, I love it. And that came from reading a book. There was a book called Dance of Life that was all about the mating rituals of different critters, of different animals.
Huh. That's interesting. The track, You Know Who You Are, reminded me a little bit of Sam Cooke and A Change Is Going to Come. You know, the way it kind of...
Thank you. Yeah, that 6/8 thing.
Yeah, it did.
That's a pretty honest song, too, I have to say. That's taken from real life.
Well, I love the album. I mean, kudos to you. What's next after this one?
Well, there are a couple of ideas getting thrown around. A live record is almost in the can from some Sundays that we were doing at this place called Dee's Country Cocktail Lounge.
Okay.
Don't let the name fool you. There's plenty of rock music and blues happening there.
Good.
Americana and so forth. As a matter of fact, last night we did a little socially distanced show, and I bet you can find it online on YouTube.
Okay.
If you want to see that.
Sure.
So the guy that runs sound for us there is also a vocalist and a dear friend of mine, and he's been taping. He asked if he could start taping us because he's trying to learn how to mix and do stuff. Well, he got some great performances out of Tom and Paul and myself, I think. And so there's that. But in my heart, what I really, really want to start working on right now is a gospel record.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. I wrote a song long ago with a fella named Pierce Pettis.
Okay.
And a woman who's, I think, fairly famous, Sarah Groves.
Okay.
You know her name? She cut it. The name of the song is You Did That For Me.
Right.
And I've never seen any money from it. And I found out later that there was even printed music of it, but they misspelled my name. They spelled it Moser instead of Sser. So I don't know how I can track it down, but I'm sure I've got some royalties coming from that somewhere.
Yeah. But
that song I'm very proud of because it came from a very authentic place for me.
Right.
And I've had it in my heart to do a couple of Dorothy Love Coates songs. Do you know who she was?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Yep.
So the two Dorothy Love Coates songs I've been doing for 30 years or more. It's Strange Man and That's Enough. I got to sing That's Enough with the Fairfield Four one time, and so I had it in my mind that I'd put together with Odessa Settle and maybe her, some of her kin, a version of the next generation of the Fairfield Four to sing that one with me. And I did, yesterday I did one of the songs I want to put on there, which is an old Sam Cooke tune he did with the Soul Stirrers, Hem of His Garment. Do you know this song?
I do.
So, and we did it yesterday, and both the boys went, "Oh, Ellie, that was good." So there's that, and then there's a song that John Jarvis wrote called "Imagine How God Can Sing." That is it's one of the coolest songs ever. And my friend Dennis Burnside did an arrangement, an orchestral arrangement of it that is just beautiful.
You know, you can sing.
I got a couple of rock gospel songs to go on there too. And here's my title for it. Are you ready?
Sure.
Immaculate Contraption.
I like that.
Isn't that pretty good?
That's pretty cool.
And I think it is. And I figured I'd put on there. I was raised in the Episcopal Church, so I figured I'd pull a couple or at least one song straight out of the old 1940 hymnal.
Right.
Because there are a couple of those that I just love and love singing. And I'd get my Kentucky Thunder Girls. You know, I'm also, or have been, so far we haven't done any gigs except charity gigs in the past 2-3 years.
Right.
But I had a band with 3 other women from Kentucky, Sheila Lawrence, Vicki Carico, and Etta Britt.
Right.
That is Tom's sister-in-law.
Okay.
And we had something called Kentucky Thunder for a while.
Yep.
4 women, and we have a record out. So I figured I'd get my Kentucky Thunder Girls to sing on one. I'd get Maura O'Connell and Odessa Settles to sing on another. I've got, I just have so many friends I want to tap for it. An ex-husband I want to tap for it. Jimmy Hall, I definitely want to tap for it.
Oh, yeah.
He's perfect for this.
I'll email him. I'm going to email him about that, you know.
Jonell Mosser wants to do a gospel record.
Oh, you guys would be...
And Johnny Neal.
Yep.
He had a stroke. I was getting ready to do something with him, and before all this happened, he had a stroke, and I'm hoping he's recovered enough that I can have him come sing and play on it, too, because, he was on my Townes Van Zandt record, and I just love the way our voices sound together, too.
You know, you appeal to everybody because you can do any genre, you know? I mean, I do love, I got to admit, I love your kind of honky-tonk type blues with the harmonica, you know what I mean? The small club, small bar type sound. I love that, you know? But, I really like, you did Midnight Train to Georgia perfect. I mean, I don't know anybody.
Oh, yes, and Larry Hoppin, I had the finest pips of all. having all 3 of the Hoppin brothers.
They were good.
And Linda Davis. And Kathy Bailey from Bailey and the Boys.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
You nailed it.
Oh, and the most although I loved doing the gig, almost the most fun part of that gig was the rehearsal.
Really?
And having Larry Hoppin, you talk about opinionated, the Hoppin brothers are opinionated about music. And the way they argue with each other about stuff is delightful. Oh, it was wonderful.
That's funny. Great song. Yeah, Delbert McClinton, of course. You've Never Been Rock. Another great tune.
He was so great.
Yep. He's another guy that's a little bit, maybe a little underrated, you know?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Delbert McClinton should have been bigger than Elvis.
Yeah, he's huge. I mean, great vocalist, man. Fantastic.
Yes, and a good guy. A deeply good guy. He and his wife Wendy have been very good to me.
Mm-hmm. You do a great job with Taj Mahal as well. Take a Giant Step. I mean, it's better than his version.
Hey, well, you know who wrote the song, right?
Who wrote it?
Carole King and
Carole King. Yeah, Carole. That's right, Carole King. I think you're a fan of Carole King, huh?
Big time. I actually did when I was pregnant with my son, who is now 22. Mm-hmm. I did something called Tapestry.
Yep. That
was it was close to being an opera because there really wasn't dialogue. It was all songs of Carole King. The 6-person cast: Mike Eldred, Connie Florence, Matt Carlton, Jeff Obafemi Carr, Jamie London, and myself.
I'd love to hear you. I'd love to hear you do "It's Too Late." That's one of my favorite songs.
I have sung that with a show that I've done called 1971.
Huh.
You should look that up online, maybe.
Okay.
I think the entire title is 1971, The Greatest Year in Music.
Yeah, it was a great year.
It truly was.
Her, Carly Simon, I mean, she was big at that time. I mean, you know, the songs that came out then were Maybe I'm Amazed came out then. Yep.
Respect Yourself came out then.
Great music.
What's Going On? Marvin Gaye.
Yep.
When the Levee Breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Tapestry. Gosh. It's funny, we've done this show several times and we've been able to change the songs that we've done, nearly all of them. Mm-hmm. And still, there's more to choose from.
I mean, that was, I was a DJ back in the late 70s. I did top 40 music back in the day, but, you know, nothing compared. I mean, even that, the late 70s, you know, was a good time for music. Very eclectic mix of music on the air.
Very much so.
There'll never be another time like that, you know, unfortunately.
Well, maybe not in our generation, but God, yeah. I hope. I think there are always going to be great musicians. There's always going to be music with melody.
Sure.
I think for a while we were worried disco was going to take over, but dang it. It's still got something.
Yeah.
It's still got something going, and some of the disco is pretty good.
Some of the other tunes, you did a great job on Crossroads. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
That rocked.
That was a scary session when I did that. That was for the movie Boys on the Side.
Right.
And I got to meet Stevie Nicks doing that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
She's great. You talk about somebody who's a huge star, but not full of herself.
Right.
She didn't know me from Adam's House Cat. She was very, very nice to me.
Yeah. You did another song, which is hard to do. You did Mercedes-Benz, Janis Joplin.
Oh, wow. That's right.
I've done that. You did that one? Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Oh, thanks.
Awesome.
I figured I had to do something because up there, you know, you got to do a Janis song. If you're at the Bearsville Theater, you got to do one, right?
Sure. A lot of people say they compare you to Janis in a way. I mean, I hear you with, you know, all types of ways because you're very eclectic and you can do any kind of song. So I hear a little Janis in you as well.
Oh, I take that as a high compliment. You know, the Janis cover I really like to do, besides Half Moon, because I think that's just such a great song. But the Janis cover I really like to do is she did a version of To Love Somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Not Somebody to Love, but the Bee Gees song To Love Somebody.
Right.
And I found this out later on. That song was written for Otis Redding.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah. The Gibb brother that wrote it, I don't know if it was Barry or
Robin.
which one.
Yeah.
But it was written with Otis in mind, and then he died in that plane crash.
That's right.
And you know, Janis idolized Otis Redding.
Mm-hmm.
And so you should look this up on YouTube. She did a version of it on the Dick Cavett show. That is stunning. It's just stunning. And so I kind of try to emulate that when people ask me to do a Joplin tribute thing, I'll say, okay, unless you really want me to sing Andy McGee or Mercedes-Benz, and I will if you really want me to, but I'm not going to do them just like her. I'm not going to try to imitate her. You understand this, right? Sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
But I'll say, let's do this. Mm-hmm. And usually if there's a great band, they'll let me do what I want, you know.
I had, Mitch Ryder from the Detroit Wheels.
Oh, God, and the Detroit Wheels.
Yeah, he was on the show. You know, he was the last guy to be with Otis Redding.
I did not know that. I love learning this stuff.
He performed with him on a show or something, and then the next day he died in the plane crash. And it was, the last song he did, of course, was Sitting on the Dock of the Bay.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I learned a lot in this job. It's pretty cool.
I guess you do. My goodness.
Yeah. Other songs that just kind of blew me away. Let's see. I want to remember what I listened to. Natural. You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, of course, Aretha Franklin. But you did Stop in the Name of Love with Hope Floats for the movie.
Yeah, that was when I was doing the, Don was. Mm-hmm. I was working with him, and he cut a record on me that never came out. That's a very long, complicated story that unless you really need me to tell you, you should probably look it up, because it's heartbreaking.
Really?
Finished the record. Mm-hmm. Ed Cherney was the engineer, Don the producer. I had Sweet Pea Atkinson. You know, he's singing background vocals on that. So Harry Bowen and Sweet Pea are singing backgrounds on Stop in the Name of Love. You know, we just lost Sweet Pea.
Yeah, that's right. We did. Just recently.
And so, that was all kind of a heartbreak for me, because I was signed to MCA, and then all at once, the guy that signed me, Al Keller, was gone.
Yeah.
And I was persona non grata. And Don had so much going on in his world. Lord, he was producing the Rolling Stones. He didn't have time to deal with all the crap that was going on for me. And then I met my husband at the time and got pregnant and started having babies. So I couldn't go out on the road. Yep. Don kept in touch with me and kept, every time he came in Nashville, he throw some work my way. Thank God for him. He's a very loyal and wonderful person, and he's a musician to the bone. So he knows, and he's seen how I've struggled. But he's been very good to me. It just didn't work out. MCA did not love me. They didn't know what to do with me. So
that song on YouTube has gotten a lot of views, man. It's like 300,000.
I'd love to see some royalties from it, but no.
Yeah,
that's all recoupment.
It's crazy, really crazy. So, the music business is so difficult. You know, I learned about how much artists get at the very end after touring and all the costs from, the being in the studio and everything. It's sad. It really is. They take everything out of you guys.
They do.
Yeah. It's a tough business. It's always been a tough business.
That's true. true, but I can't do anything else. This is what I'm happy doing.
Yeah, well, same thing with me. You know, I've interviewed, I don't know, a couple thousand people. Been doing this for about 10 years now. I'm not making anything. I love doing it. You know?
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And you're leaving something lasting, honey.
Exactly. And I'm writing, and I'm writing books.
Your family, but everyone.
I'm writing books, all the interviews. You know, I just got a new book out, the Rockstar Chronicles, and I'm going to do 4 series. We'll include you in one of the series, of course.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, we'll put you in there, and, you know, it'll be on the shelves forever and ever, you know, for people to learn.
For my grandchildren to read.
There you go. There you go. So when all this mess is over with the coronavirus, what's going to happen? Are you going to go start touring again, or what's going to happen then?
I am. If John feels comfortable, I am going to tour it. I really want to tour this.
Are you going to tour with John?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
If he feels like he can, like I said, you know, he's not that old, but he's a little bit older than I am.
Right.
And he has had his health compromised a little bit with some heart issues and so forth. But if he's, it would be the joy of my life to tour with John, and we're so self-contained.
Yep.
We might make some money.
That'd be nice. That'd be a plus, a bonus.
It would, wouldn't it?
Well, I hope it works out. I really do.
Well, thank you, Lovey. I hope so too.
You were on. I did see you were on the Southern Rock Cruise back in January of 2019. How'd that go?
Oh, that was great. Jimmy was on that.
Yep.
Jimmy was on that, as was Johnny Neal.
Right.
And have you ever heard him? Johnny
Neal, sure.
Okay.
Yep.
So the three of us really got to have a good time a couple times on that cruise. We really did.
Those have gotten so big now, you know, the rock cruises and the, you know.
Right. Yeah, my friends that were the headliners of that, the Kentucky Headhunters.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Oh, I love them. Yeah. I've known them. I've known Fred, the drummer. I've known Fred since 1982, I think. And it's funny. He and I are about the same age. He looks older because he's got those great big mutton chops and so forth. But Freddie isn't that old. And they had asked me to get up on the cruise and sing with them. And they said, just whatever you want to sing, just get up and sing with us. If you hear something, just get up. Nobody will stop you. So I hear them cranking up Spirit in the Sky.
Yep.
And I thought, oh, that's perfect. I'll get up and do all that.
Mm-hmm.
Spirit in the Sky, I'll do all that stuff.
Yep.
And I come around the corner where they're on the big outdoor stage up on the top of the ship. And I come around, and some jackass in the audience has a full-size Confederate flag waving it back and forth.
Oh, jeez.
And my sister was with me. I turned around, and I came around the corner. I said, oh, good, I'm going to go think. She goes, I'll follow. And she comes right behind me. We both stop dead. No way. Not getting on that stage. She goes, I know. And I love those guys, and they can't control what their audience is doing. But I thought, what jackass would carry a full-size Confederate flag? I mean, one that's bigger than a couple of coffee tables, you know?
Yeah.
That's just bullshit. I'm not.
On the way to Tampa, there's a guy that's got a big Confederate flag. A big one, real big one on his flagpole. And I don't know if he's taken it down by now, but it was there for years, you know? I mean, you know, I'm not against, you know, the South, they fought just like the North did in the United States. You know what I mean? And we got to be, you know, I feel bad for everyone that passed away and died and got killed in that war, you know, but, you know, you can't just forget about it, you know? You just can't.
I had relatives that fought and died on both sides.
On both sides, yeah. I mean,
because we're from Kentucky.
Yeah.
Our family was torn apart by that war.
Right.
And I don't care what anybody says that it was about states' rights. It was about slavery.
Right.
And that's the legacy that the Confederate flag, no matter what somebody says, somebody could say, well, my great-granddaddy carried this flag and I'm proud of it. Well, good. If you have it on your property, I find it offensive.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry that you don't understand why I find it offensive. I'm not telling you that you can't wave it, but I'm not going to be in a photograph where you're waving a Confederate flag.
Yep. It's just the people that want to wipe out that part of history, you know. It's you can't wipe out history, you know what I mean?
No, you can't.
You can't change history. It's there. I mean, that's what we all learned in school, and
and people are people. Here's the thing: people make mistakes.
Yep.
I have German friends that I love.
Exactly.
They're definitely not Nazis.
Right. Exactly.
Maybe their granddaddies were.
Good way to look at it. You're right.
But they are not.
You're right.
And I love Angela Merkel. I think she's a great leader and a strong leader. I'm not afraid she's going to be a Nazi. I know she's not. She's a lovely, compassionate person. I would never say that all Germans are Nazis.
Right.
But if I see a Nazi flag,
I don't
care who's carrying it, Americans and Germans, I'm going to say something's wrong with you.
That's funny. You know, you can say the same thing about the Chinese now. You know what I mean?
Oh, right.
There's going to be a lot of people hating Chinese because of this thing. So.
Well, North Korea.
Same.
The Khmer Rouge.
Right.
What about Rwanda and Burundi?
Yep.
We have a song, John and Johanna and I, called "We Are All One Tribe."
Right. Good title.
It's true.
Yep.
If the first verse goes, Neanderthal fighting, Cro-Magnon, he fighting back too. Protecting the tribe from someone who don't look like he do. Clubs turn to arrows, guns into missiles and planes, till both sides are gone. Wait a million years, start it again. No.
Good lyrics.
We are all one tribe.
Good lyrics. I like that.
And the bridge, when you finally get to the bridge, it goes, like a garden from the earth we rise, all the same in our Creator's eyes.
Right.
We are all one tribe.
That's true. That's true. I love that.
I'll sing that for you sometime. And I've updated it because we wrote it back when the Rwanda genocides were happening.
Right.
And so the first iteration of it was Rwanda, Burundi. Now I'm saying Afghanistan. Rwanda, Burundi, Afghanistan won't be the last. Oh, it was Kosovo first. Ulster and England, locked in the wars of the past. Now I'm saying Syria, Chechnya, locked in the wars of the past.
Right.
Because people don't remember the Irish-English thing.
That's right.
England.
That was big.
Hutu killed Tutsi just for the shape of the nose. And I don't know if you remember that, but I read a newspaper article saying the Hutus were going around, and if a person looked a little bit like a Tutsi, and that had to do with if their nose was flattened or straight or, a little more aquiline, they killed them.
Yeah.
Saying, oh, yeah, you're a Tutsi. And Catholic, Protestant, kill for the God that they chose. No. We are all one tribe.
Yeah.
We are all one tribe. Like a garden from the earth we rise. All the same in our Creator's eyes. We are all one tribe.
There sure has been a lot of hate in this world, though, over the years. I tell you that.
We got to fight it.
Oh, man.
We've got to fight it, Ray. You know we have to. We who know even a tiny bit have to fight it.
It's a shame. I mean, there's always been wars. There's always been hatred, racism, it's always been there, and it always will be. But I tell you one thing, if we learned anything from this virus, a lot of, we all did come together. It's amazing how many people did stay home and listen and, follow the rules, because there's a lot of people in this world,
Yep. And there are a lot of people who have a lot of love and respect for others, even though they might not be very vocal about it.
You just never hear about it.
They're showing their love and respect by staying home.
You just never hear about it, You never hear about the good things. Every once in a while, but not enough. I want to throw some names at you, okay?
Okay.
I'm friends with, Joe Bonsall, the Oak Ridge Boys. You know those guys?
I don't know him well, but he might know me. He might know my name.
Right. Joe, the Oak Ridge Boys are they of course they're in Nashville as well.
Oh yeah, I know Bill Golden.
Right.
I know a little better, yeah. And his sons, Chris and what's his other son's name? I knew him even better. That's all right.
I know Joe.
Okay, there you go. So you know Joe,
Joe's from Philly originally.
Oh.
Yeah. Dolly Parton.
Yes.
You know Dolly?
I do. The last time I got to see her, Stella is a closer friend.
Mm-hmm.
But I did something for Dolly called the Red Tent event.
Okay.
And you know, I've sung backgrounds on a couple of her records. And it was so funny, I didn't know she was aware of me, but she wanted a picture with everyone after this Red Tent event we did.
Right.
And as we I thought we were all going to do it as a band, but she wanted it one at a time. And I heard, as I got close, we were all standing sort of in a line. We're at the big DoubleTree Hotel. I hear Stella say, "Oh, and here's Jonell Mosser." She gives her the name before the person walks up. And I hear Dolly do this, Ray. I'll try to do this just like she did it. She went, "Ooh, Jonell Mosser, we love her."
Oh, that's nice.
Oh my God! Again, one of those more than you could ask for things moments. Getting this thing in front of Ringo Starr, Dolly
Incredible.
Parton going, knowing my name and how to say it, and saying we love her. Oh my God, she is a delight.
I love your name. I think your name's easy to say, and it stands out. It's a great name. There's nothing wrong with your name.
I've been told it's an ugly dog of a name, but it is
Really?
my ugly dog of a name. I like it.
I like it too. And I did oh my goodness, there goes my mind here. A speakerphone type thing, a conference call, and on the conference call was Dolly, Linda Ronstadt, and Emmylou Harris. And just imagine how that conversation went. They were so funny, those three, you know?
Yeah.
You can tell they've been together for a while.
Dolly still is. She's hysterical.
Yeah. I've never been to Dollywood. Have not been there yet.
I have. It's marvelous.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. And the now they've got a big water park there. That wasn't done when we went there, when I took the kids there, but we had a great time.
That'll be my next trip, I think. I got 5 grandkids, so they're not old enough to go yet, but that'll be one of our trips. How many kids do you have?
2 sons.
2 sons.
One's 22 and one's 24.
Okay.
23. Hi, 22 and 23.
Any grandkids? Do you have grandkids yet?
I have great kids. My older son is a nurse at Vanderbilt.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, grandkids. No, I don't have grandkids.
Not
Sorry.
yet.
My older son's a nurse at Vanderbilt, and he just recently married.
Okay.
They just went to the Justice of the Peace since it was crazy.
Congratulations.
Great. No, thank you. I love my daughter-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
And my younger son is 22. He's the one that's both of them are have musical ability, but I think my younger son actually could be a singer. But he sees how hard it is, and so I don't know that he's going to do that.
Does he have a band, or does he want just be a singer?
No.
No.
Yeah. The world isn't like the world was when we were coming up, honey. You don't have a neighborhood where guy goes, "I got a set of drums, I got a bass guitar."
Yeah, garage
that
band.
doesn't happen anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes me think of the old Mickey Rooney, Judy Garland. My daddy has a barn. We can use curtains for curtains. Let's put on a show. So, yeah, he hadn't done that, but he could if he wanted to.
Yeah.
He's still sort of stumbling about, figuring out what he wants to do.
It's funny, as you get older, the kids don't know who you're talking about. You know, I interviewed Connie Francis, and nobody knew who she was.
Great.
Nobody knew who she was. It's crazy. You know, she was so big in the 50s and early 60s, you know.
And she was a beautiful girl.
Yep.
She went through some bad times.
Yeah, she
too,
did.
Didn't she? She and Leslie Gore both had some bad things happen to them.
Oh, I love Leslie Gore. She was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I interviewed the one of the ex-drummers from Jethro Tull, and he brought up Eve Arden, and I started cracking up. I says, you and me are probably the only person that remember Eve Arden.
Oh, yes, I know exactly. She was one of the great comic actors.
I know. But it's so funny that, so many people, they won't even know about Johnny Carson after a while,
Oh, yeah. I can see somebody going, if you say somebody like Lucille Ball.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah. That's crazy. I had Lucy Arnaz on the show. She's a hoot. She's a real hoot.
She was a beautiful girl at one time, wasn't she?
Yeah, she is. She's really nice. Very nice person. All right, Jonell, here's a question I ask everybody. I get some interesting answers, okay? If you had a Fuel the Dreams wish, like the movie, to perform, collaborate with anyone from the past or present, who would that be?
It would be, Otis Redding.
Otis Redding. Yep.
I almost said Lowell George, but I have to say it would have to be Otis.
Yeah, I heard you're a big Little Feat fan.
Yeah, Lowell especially. I mean, I know Billy Payne, and I did know Richie Hayward before he passed.
Right.
I've met Paul, and I met Sam before he died. Wait a minute. No, is Sam still alive? Is Sam Clayton still alive?
That I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But and Paul Barrere has passed away now. And Richie went several years ago. But I got to be on stage with Richie Hayward. And I do love Billy Payne beyond words. You know who else I always wanted to collaborate with and never even have met yet is Stevie Wonder. I don't know if he ever would, but oh my God, I just idolize him. But yeah, past or present, anybody, if it was down to one, I'd have to say Otis.
Yeah, Jimmy Hall said Stevie Wonder as well. Yeah. Sam Clayton is alive. He's still around. Sam Clayton?
Oh, Sam Clayton, yeah.
Yeah, he's still around.
Good, good.
Yep. Oh, good answer there. Jonell, you have anything else you want to promote or chat about?
Well, just that I feel like I'm a better singer now than I ever was.
Oh, yeah. You're fantastic.
And I'm ready to sing until I'm done. I want to be like my friend David Olney.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to distress anybody.
Right.
So I don't want to do it necessarily on stage, but I would like to finish a great performance, be in my 80s or 90s, finish a great performance, and step off the stage and go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Either that or in a shootout in a bank with some little kids. I'd like to be that scary, 80, 90-something little old lady that some asshole pulls a gun and I go, no, and I smack him with my purse.
That's funny.
I always wanted to do that when I got old enough.
That's funny. You know what? I think you will, too.
Yes, with age comes a certain amount of entitlement that I fully intend
That's right.
to take advantage of.
Well, I tell you, you deserve all the breaks in the world because you're a fantastic singer. Probably 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you probably would have been a superstar, but you know how the music business has changed.
I do. And I'll tell you, I have no regrets. My only regret is I didn't write more.
Right.
My friend Harlan Howard wanted to write with me, but I really didn't feel that I was gifted enough to write with him. And he kept saying, oh, come on, Jude, no, we can do it. Mm-hmm. And I'm a dumbass. Why didn't I write with Harlan Howard?
Right.
Why didn't I push John Bryan, my friend, because he said, we can try something, I'll try. because he didn't write with a lot of people, but
Right.
he did at the end. But then other people were in his life, and great people, Pat McLaughlin,
Yep.
folks like that. So,
Well, you're still young. You got a lot of time ahead of you to do anything you want to do.
I hope so, honey. I want to do every festival that will have me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go to Europe again. When I was in Italy, I got to sing jazz standards with a marvelous old man. This is 10 years ago, so I'm sure, or 12 years ago now. So he may have passed away. He was well in his 80s.
Right.
A lovely little man named Renato Solani. And he was one of the finest pianists I've ever gotten to sing with, and he liked me. I went over there to do the Umbria Jazz Festival with a rock band. I was just a background singer, but we went in the daytime to hear this guy sing, and I gurmed him until I got to sing with him, and he let me sing with him every time I came to the place. Isn't that cool?
That is cool. See, that's another genre. That's another genre you can do is jazz. There's so many things you can do. It's like, wow.
And I would love to do that. I do love to sing.
Yep.
I love the all the intricacies of the jazz standard. I really, really do.
Well, you're an incredible voice. I wish you all the luck in the world because you deserve it. You got so much talent. And once you start touring again, please come to Florida.
I will. I would love to. I have friends from the top of the state to the bottom, so I'll come see you, Ray.
Good. You got to meet my wife, and fellow Kentuckian.
Yes, I do, and I hope it's going to be okay to hug her neck, because that's what I plan on doing.
Oh yeah, no problem.
All right. Well, thanks for a good interview.
Thank you too. Thank you so much, and stay in touch. Okay.
All right, babe.
All right. Bye now. Purchase Little Black Dress by Jonell Mosser and Johanna Hall at Amazon.com. Gave it 5 stars. Excellent album. For more information about Jonell Mosser, visit www.jonellmosser.com. She's also on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Jonell Mosser Official. Very special thanks to Ann Layton Media Music Services Motivation for arranging this interview with Jonell Mosser, and the dynamic duo of Doug and Don Newsom of BBS Radio for making magic happen for each and every broadcast of Interviewing the Legends. If you have comments or suggestions for the show, contact me at interviewingthelegends@gmail.com, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Interviewing the Legends with Ray Shasho, for the very latest interviews. It is real news, people. And please buy my new book. It is awesome. Great reviews, entitled The Rockstar Chronicles Series 1. Chronicles truths, confessions, and wisdom from the music legends that set us all free. Order yours today on hardcover or ebook at bookbaby.com or amazon.com, featuring over 45 intimate conversations with some of the greatest rock legends the world will ever know. Stay safe, keep healthy, and have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to Interviewing the Legends. Brought to you by the Publicity Works Agency. Call 941-877-1552 or visit us at publicityworksagency.com, specializing in author and music artist publicity plans. We shine when we make you shine. Tune in to Interviewing the Legends every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Time on BBS Radio, Station 1.